Frank is at his kitchen table. It is 6 a.m. He has coffee. He has a calculator. He has a yellow legal pad with numbers on it. The numbers are not good. He is trying to figure out when he can retire. He punches in his savings, punches in his expenses, punches in his age. The calculator gives him a number. The number is 74. He punches it in again, slower this time, in case the calculator was confused. The calculator is not confused. The number is still 74. Frank is 53. He sets the pencil down, looks out the window. A squirrel runs across the fence. The squirrel does not have to retire. The squirrel is doing fine. Frank has been doing this math for a while now. Every couple of months he sits down, hopes something changed, finds out nothing did. The plan he was handed at 22 is not working. The finish line keeps moving. Every time he gets close, somebody walks over and pushes it another 5 yards. So he is sitting here, at 6 a.m., asking himself a serious question. Should he just give up on retirement? The answer is no. But the retirement he was promised? The gold watch one? The cabin one? The smooth exit at 65 one? That one is gone. Packed a bag, moved to Cancun, did not leave a forwarding address. Frank needs a new plan. Here is what he figured out. The old plan is a broken lawnmower. Here is what Frank was told growing up. Work 35 years, put money in a box. Do not touch the box. At 65, open the box. The money inside will be enough. Buy a boat, play golf, die at 78. Simple. That was the lawnmower, the American lawnmower. You bought it, you maintained it. It started every spring. It worked until you didn't need it anymore. Frank's lawnmower is broken. The pull cord snapped in 2008. The blade fell off in 2020. Now it leaks oil onto a box of VHS tapes in his garage. He cannot mow his retirement lawn with this lawnmower. The 65 and done model was built for a world that does not exist anymore. Pensions were real. Social Security was thick. A house cost 4 years of salary, not 40. You could fix a car with a wrench, not a software update. Frank did everything right, showed up, put money in the box. But the box has a hole in it. Inflation chewed through the bottom. Healthcare ate the sides. The lid was never on tight to begin with. The math used to work. Now it does not. $1 million in a retirement account sounds like a yacht. It is not a yacht. It is roughly 40 grand a year for 25 years. That is not freedom. That is a used Camry with a check engine light that comes on when it rains. Frank is not bad with money. The money is bad at being money. It buys less. It stretches shorter. It disappears faster. He puts $1 in the box today. 15 years from now, that dollar is 60 cents wearing a hat, pretending to still be $1. Average guy. My mother retired at 62 with a full pension and a paid-off house. I'm 55 with a mortgage and a meditation app subscription. We are not the same person. Frank was promised a smooth exit. What he got is a toll road. No exits for the next 40 miles. Cash only. Everything is a waiting room. Fine. Frank will work longer. Push retirement to 67. Maybe 70. He is tough. He grew up drinking from a garden hose. He played outside until the streetlights came on. He can do this. Then he goes to the doctor. Frank waits 6 weeks for the appointment. Waits 45 minutes in the lobby. There is a television playing a soundless loop about toenail fungus. He sees the doctor for 9 minutes. The doctor says, "Come back in 3 months." He leaves. The bill arrives. It is $400. Insurance covers $11. This is the new normal. Everything that is supposed to catch him is slower now, harder to reach, more expensive once you arrive. Social Security offices have hold times that qualify as endurance sports. Pharmacy lines look like concert lines. His insurance company sends letters that read like ransom notes written by a lawyer who hates him. His own bank wants him to verify his identity using a password he made when George W. Bush was still in office. The systems were already fraying. Now they are openly unraveling. And he is supposed to rely on these systems for the next 30 years of his life. Frank is not paranoid. He is observant. The systems were built for a smaller, younger, cheaper population. They cannot stretch any further. They are a fitted sheet on the wrong size mattress. Pull one corner up, another corner pops off. So Frank is not just planning for retirement. He is planning around a country that is having a hard time picking up the phone. Don't quit. Just dim the lights. Here's what Frank used to think retirement meant. Work, stop, sit, do a puzzle, watch a bird, die. That is not a plan. That is a hostage situation with a bird. Frank is hearing a different word now. Not retirement, something quieter. Downshift. Slow down. Ease off the gas. Do not slam the brakes. Think about the lamp in his living room. It has a dimmer switch. Frank used to think the lamp had two settings. On, off, working, retired, bright, dark. But the lamp has a whole range in between. He can dim it, halfway, a quarter, just enough to see by. That is the new model. No full stop, just less. Drop to 4 days a week, then 3. Pick up a side gig, drive a couple shifts, sell something on the internet, teach a thing on Saturdays. Whatever keeps a small stream of money flowing while the big income winds down. Average guy. I started selling vintage stereos out of my garage. I now make more money on the weekend than my real job pays me on Wednesday. I have not told my boss. He thinks I'm tired because of allergies. The gig does 3 things at once. It pays, it moves him around, it gives him something to do that is not staring at his lawn wondering if grass is judging him. The gig does not have to be glamorous, does not have to be a passion. Frank does not need to monetize joy. He just needs a small engine humming in the background while the main engine cools down. The full stop model was built for people who were tired at 65 and dead by 78. Frank is going to live to 88, maybe 92. He cannot sit on a porch for 27 years. He will lose his mind. The bird will lose its mind. Everyone loses. Dim the lights. Do not turn them off. Frank had to figure out what part-time actually looked like. What 4 days a week paid versus 3. What the gap was. He wrote it down on a few pages so he could see it without doing the math in his head every Sunday night. He calls it the retirement file. It is in the description. Nothing fancy, just the boxes he needed to fill in. Take the remote. Here is something Frank's parents did not have. A choice. His parents worked for one company for 40 years. Got the watch, got the cake, sat down, watched Wheel of Fortune. Died on schedule. There was a script. They followed it. The script was written for them by someone they never met. Frank does not have a script. Nobody wrote one for Gen X. They forgot. They were busy writing one for the boomers, and then they got distracted by the millennials, and Gen X just kind of stood there in the hallway holding the trapper keeper. So he writes his own. Frank picks his own hours, picks his own location, picks his own pace, decides when the workday starts, decides when it ends, if it ends. Some days it just sort of trails off into a long walk. This is the remote control. His parents had a TV with 3 channels and no remote. They watched what was on. He has 400 channels and a pause button. He just has to actually push the buttons. The old rules say retirement means you stop being useful. Frank is rejecting that. He is not stopping. He is steering. He is choosing the road, the speed, and the snacks. Useful does not have an expiration date. A schedule does not have to come from a manager named Greg. He can build a week that fits his actual body, his actual brain, and his actual back pain. His parents lived inside the script. Frank gets to write in the margins. Then on the page. Then on the cover. Then on a different book entirely. His parents had a script. He didn't get one. So he wrote his own. A few pages with checklists and blanks for spending, insurance, and healthcare gaps. He calls it the retirement file. It is in the description. He left it there in case it helps somebody else who is also writing in the margins. Maybe leave. Here's a thought Frank did not used to have. He is having it now. What if he just left? Not a vacation, not a long weekend. Left. Country, suitcase, new address, new currency. New language he butchers at the bakery. Some Gen Xers are doing it. Portugal, Mexico, Costa Rica, Spain, Thailand. Anywhere a dollar still acts like a dollar. Anywhere a doctor's visit costs less than dinner. The math is brutal. A house in a sleepy town in Portugal can cost less than a used SUV in Phoenix. Healthcare is a fraction of US prices. The pace is slower. The food is real. People sit at restaurants for 3 hours and nobody brings them the check until they ask. Twice. Average guy. My buddy Dave moved to Portugal. He sends me pictures of his grocery bill. Last week, he bought a week of food, a bottle of wine, and fresh bread for what I pay for a sandwich at the airport. I am questioning my entire life. Frank is not saying everyone needs to leave. He is saying the option exists now. That used to be science fiction. Now it is a Reddit thread with 80,000 comments. The American retirement is expensive. The American grocery store is expensive. The American hospital is a financial hostage situation with magazines in the lobby. He can step out of all of it. Or he can keep one foot in. Spend half the year somewhere quieter and cheaper. Come back when he misses real pizza. Frank does not have to leave forever. He just has to know he can. That is the part that changes everything. Not the ticket, the realization. He is allowed to put his life somewhere else. Frank had to know his actual numbers before he could even think about Portugal. What he spends, what he could cut, what healthcare costs without insurance. He put it all on a few sheets so it stopped being a vague feeling and started being a list. That is the retirement file. It is in the description. The math is the math. Easier to look at when it is on paper. The pilot light. And then there is this part. Frank knows a guy. Bob. Bob retired at 64. Sold his business. Paid off the house. Bought a boat. Played golf. Then sat down. And then stayed sitting down. Within 18 months, Bob looked 10 years older. Stopped shaving regularly. Got into a heated argument with a sprinkler. The boat had algae on it. He told Frank, "I have no reason to put on pants." Money was not Bob's problem. Bob had money. Bob retired his job. He also accidentally retired his reason to get up. A reason does not retire. A purpose does not get a gold watch. The pilot light in Frank's stove burns 24 hours a day. If it goes out, the whole stove gets cold. Nothing cooks. Everything just sits there. He needs a pilot light. Something small, always on. Does not have to be huge. Does not have to be his whole identity. But something has to be lit. The reason can be anything. a class he teaches, a grandkid he picks up on Tuesdays, a book club, a weird obsession with restoring old radios, a volunteer thing at the library, a friend group that meets for coffee at 9 a.m. and complains about everything for 90 minutes. The point is being needed by something, by anything. Even a tomato plant counts. The tomato plant cannot water itself. It needs him. He has to show up. That is a reason. Without a reason, money is just paper. The boat is just fiberglass. The retirement is just empty rooms with a man in them, slowly forgetting why he ever wanted any of this. Keep the pilot light on, whatever it takes. Frank thought about Bob a lot after that, about what he did not want to turn into. So he started writing things down, the numbers, the checklists, the questions he kept avoiding. All of it went into one document called the retirement file. It is in the description. He did not want to be Bob. So, should Gen X give up on retirement? No. Give up on the version they sold him in 1987. Give up on the gold watch and the cabin and the smooth exit at 65. That one is not coming. Build a different one. Smaller engine, longer runway, side gig, own schedule, maybe a different country. Definitely a reason to put on pants. Frank is going to keep working. A little. Just enough. He will dim the lights, not turn them off. He will write his own script. He might even leave the country. He has not decided. He is thinking about it. He closes the calculator. Closes the laptop. Stands up. His knee makes a sound. He ignores it. He has things to do. That is the whole plan. Thanks for watching. Frank will see you in the next video.